But as a producer, you got to think not in your own niche. You got to think about your artist. And I thought about Wyclef, and I'm like, bro, if you put out a country record, it might confuse your crowd. You have to put out the hip hop record first. Dude, how about he puts that hip hop record out? How about he took one of our country songs just to include me, made me a full-blown producer, not just a co-producer, made me an equal producer to him, but then gave me a couple extra points on top of the record. He just gave me so much on this record. And he did a Otis Redding version of our country song, and he flipped it. It's called Winter Is Coming.
Winter is coming. Laying all alone on this ice bed. Looks like a dark room.
And welcome to another edition of Behind Them Music. And my name is Tony Bass. And this evening we have an incredible young man that we're going to talk to. His name is Timothy Chance. And he's a record producer. He's an artist. And now he's working on a major project with one of the biggest names in the entertainment industry, and by the name of Wyclef Jean. And so we're going to talk about that collaboration, how it came to be, but more so how he got to where he is. And first and foremost, Timothy, I want to welcome you to Behind the Music.
Tony, what an honor to be here. I've heard so much about you. Tangi, my publicist, speaks so wonderful. She's been so excited about linking us. It's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
It is truly my pleasure. And she is a wonderful individual and works hard. I'm almost as hard as you, but not quite.
I could never work as hard as Tangi. I've learned that quick. She's the only one on my team, I can honestly say, outworks me.
Well, first of all, tell me about your company.
So it's called Dragon Farm. We're based out of Nashville, Tennessee. It started off probably 20 years ago as a team of MCs. It was myself, my partner Pal, who's my partner in PNC, Poetic Nocturnal Creatures, also my label partner. He's on a few other interviews and stuff, Transcending the Culture, and a few other good ones you can see, Pal. And then we had another gentleman named RPM, another gentleman named Jelly Roll. So now fast forward, that's how it started off. Then it grew into like 10 or 20 MCs. And then as everybody kind of went their own directions, it started to branch off into party promotion. So we started throwing events. Next thing you know, we've got booking agents, we've got promoters, we got artists, we got, MCs, singers, beat makers. Dragon Farm now is, and fast forward to where we are today, as a crew and as a collective, there's probably 250 of us nationwide. Well, now we're international.
You transitioned through all different kinds of genres from, R&B, hip hop, and reggae, obviously. You were like the first Nashville artist to be signed to Warner Brothers.
First hip hop artist in history.
You got several projects in the mix at the same time. You just came off with a wonderful record, Peace Pipe. And I just want to know, how did that come to be, and just talk a little bit about that record.
Hot off the press, 6/26/26, Wyclef Jean drops his first of 7 out of the Quantum Leap series, 7 genres, the hip hop album called Clef Notes. Well, about 6 years ago, him and I were introduced, and we became good friends instantly. We started making music, and he asked me if I would be one of his producers, and I was like, I would love to. So naturally, being Nashville, I'm always a bridge for every genre to come into country music. And I knew that Wyclef, you listen to Gone Till November, you listen to 911 with Mary J, like those records, you take them in that video with Mary J, you take them out of the brownstones and you put them in a country environment with country clothes. That's Florida Georgia Line by today's standards, right? I really positioned for that. And I prayed, and I always had this confidence thing where I felt like, I always joke with my friends, I was like, look, I'm 1 phone call, 2 phone calls away from having anyone on planet Earth on the phone. I believe that in my heart and my soul, because of where I'm from, my proximity to the stars, and how I've navigated the business. But then my producer, Dave Aaron, who was Death Row's Dave Aaron, Dr. Dre, and Suge Knight were Dave Aaron's light-skinned dude you see next to Pac with the fro sitting by the boards, but you never knew him because he was the engineer. Dr. Dre wanted to be an artist and a front man and all of that. His name wanted to be out there. Dave Dizzle wanted nothing to do with that. He was just the sound guy. And well, I wanted to work with him, and I got to him after 7 years, fighting, scrapping. When I moved out to LA, finally got to it, where I'm in the studio with him and Devontae Swing from Jodeci. every single day that I wanted to in LA. And we're just building, right? So eventually Dave Dizzle's like, man, let's do a record. So we called in the best musicians in Nashville. You know, we started the sessions. We finished our first song called Twisted. We got that one released, but then Dave Dizzle had a brain aneurysm and went in a coma and eventually died. So I lost the biggest producer. It took 7 years that I fought to get to. And at that point, I just kind of threw my hands up and I said, you know, forget it. I always say that I'm one phone call away from somebody. Who do I want to work with? I said, Wyclef Jean. So I did the research. I found an old friend of his. I called his old friend. I said, hey, you happen to be an attorney? And he said, hey, I know Clef's going to do a country record. When he wants to do a country record, let me be the first call. Sure enough, I got the call like 6-7 months later. Sent me an acapella. Wyclef, he's like, yo, Clef wants to do considering a country record. So he sent me an acapella. Within 24 hours, this is the opportunity I've been waiting for my whole life. I've been building everything for this, right? So within 24 hours, I kicked him back a remix of his song in country. And he called me the next morning at 7 a.m. He says, Chance, he says, you're the Dr. A in Nashville. I said, he's like, I want to do a whole record with you. And sure enough, he says, send me your contract. We signed that point and we went to work. We did like 10, 15 songs within a matter of 10 days, which ended up being his country record. I brought in country star Drake White, who him and Clef ended up becoming best friends. You know, they looked identical when they walked in the studio. Same hat, same bracelet, same shirt, same jeans. He looks at him and they both kind of cocked their head to the side. He's like, when were you born? He's like, I was born in the fall. He's like, I was born in the fall too. He's like, I'm a preacher's son. I'm a preacher's son too. And it was like, oh God, here we go. And God stepped up in the flesh. And since then, it's become the Caribbean Cowboys. We've got a country trio that's going to, you know, it's a project Clef's got going on. I don't want to say too much. But the country album in this is the Caribbean Cowboys. So back to the 7 genres. Out of the 7 genres, Clef calls and he's like, hey man, what do you think I should release first, the country or the hip hop? And I was like, brother, as much as I would love, because I'm a full producer on all the songs on the country record, and that's a life changer for me, not just publicly, financially, and it does everything. It makes me, every one of my dreams gets connected. But as a producer, you got to think not in your own needs. You got to think about your artist. And I thought about Wyclef, and I'm like, bro, if you put out a country record, it might confuse your crowd. You have to put out the hip hop record first. Dude, how about he puts that hip hop record out? How about he took one of our country songs just to include me, made me a full-blown producer, not just a co-producer, made me an equal producer to him, but then gave me a couple extra points on top of the record. He just gave me so much on this record. And he did a Otis Redding version of our country song, and he flipped it. It's called Winter is Coming, which is like a part 2 of Gone Till November. And he dropped this record. He included our country song on his hip hop record, and he didn't have to, just to involve me. Not only does it have this beautiful R&B version of our country song that sure it'll be on the country record as well, but the full, like with the steel and fiddles and all that, like we did originally. But you know, he drops the video the day that the album drops, the song he picked to shoot the video for, and he surprised us. Like, he surprised me and my team and everyone here, and Mike P, shouts out, our co-producer that helped with everything on those projects. You know, he's in Insane Clown Posse. He's my engineer down here, one of my engineers down here, you know, and that's who I brought in to help with this when Clef came to me. So, you know, it felt so good to be able to finally, after all these years, to have stuck it out, been loyal, not flipped out, you know, always been a good friend, always been there for the brother. And for him to just come around and, you know, it's so rare that people do that in the music business, you know, and that's why he is a true superstar. He's not just a superstar because of the records sold and the acclimates and the art stars that we've made and the Shakiras, the Santanas, the Fujis, the Laurens, the band, the DJ Khaled's. You know, he's not just that superstar. He's a superstar of a man because he's just genuinely one of the most humble, most real. If you're his brother, he's got your back like you would never even know. And I'm honored that I'm in his circle. I'm honored that I'm working with him and Madeline Nelson, his manager and heads music. You know, like, I'm honored to get to know those people, and I'm blessed that they've taken the time over past 5-6 years to get to know me, to know that it's very real, that I don't switch up. I'm as solid as I get. And sometimes you see something like this, like, oh, it's almost too good to be true. No, they took the time to make sure that it wasn't. And that's my family. And same with them, you know, from my side, I work with so many stars, and it's always like, it's never what people say it's going to be, and it's always lesser than what we predict most of the time. This time it exceeded every expectations, and it's still going. Like, we're fresh into this. This is 2 weeks ago that this record dropped, and we're just now lining everything up. Like, you know, I just signed today with Three Doors Down's management company, with Chet Roberts, with Fourth Door Management. Finally, a management company. So, and you know, it's just that. Now that we've been validated, the sound has been praised, it's been lifted, but we have a song that can change the world, and people are feeling it, and it is in the video, but not just the world, but Wyclef. He's excited about this song, dude. He's out there running game. Like, this is how you do it. And he loves this song. So to see my artist and one of my best friends excited about it, that's the reward right there in itself for me.